Hello, I'm Michael Curry, presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to be with you, even in this virtual way, for the unveiling of the portrait of the Reverend Dr. Pauli Murray. It is a real honor to be able to be a part of this occasion and to say thank you to all of those who made this unveiling and this remembrance of the work, the life, and the continuing legacy of Pauli Murray to us and to generations yet to come. I was in seminary in the 1970s when Pauli Murray was in seminary and knew her and met her and was with her on several occasions. And I can tell you that the legends about her brilliance, about her oratorical and debating skills, about her knowledge of matters of the law and matters of theology, her abilities in aesthetic writing and poetry is all true. Is all true. And more than that, Pauli Murray, in the life and legacy of the Episcopal Church, is one who represents maybe the best of who we can be. But she did so at a great cost. She did so with great hardship. She did so without being recognized in the time of her life for the work and the service that she had done. There's a prophecy in the book of Ezekiel, the prophet, where the prophet is called by God, and the Lord says to him, the old versions say, stand up your feet like a man. And the newer versions, stand up like a human being. The prophet obeys the Lord and stands up. And the Lord says, now listen to me. The Lord says, you must speak my word, my truth to the nation. They may not want to hear, but whether they hear or refuse to hear, they will know that there has been a prophet in their midst. I can think of no better description of the life, legacy, and the witness of Pauli Murray than that. To speak the truth in season and out. Speak the truth on mountaintop and in valley. Speak the truth in good days and hard days. Speak the truth in season and out. And whether the nation, whether the society, whether the world hears or refuses to hear, one day we will know that there has been a prophet in our midst. That may be the profound significance of Pauli Murray as a legal scholar, Pauli Murray as social critic, Pauli Murray as priest of the church, Pauli Murray as theologian, Pauli Murray as poet, Pauli Murray as a prophet in her time for our time. She anticipated in her writings and in all of her works and in her life ways of freedom and hope and justice and equity and compassion that could only be dreamed of in the time in which she bore witness to them. She studied Jim Crow laws in the South and the legal dynamics that were behind them. And her research provided some of the basis for the arguments that were made in Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas. She studied the law and the impact of precedents and philosophical undergirdings in the law that have led to foundations for equity and equality of women. that have led to foundations that have led to legal justice for LGBTQ plus persons, that have led to equality and justice for all. She anticipated before they happened and spoke the truth before it could be heard. But whether the nation would hear or refuse to hear, it would one day know that there had been a prophet in its midst. And so it was in the church. She was one of the early women to be ordained to the priesthood in the Episcopal Church, which was a radical change for the church, moving beyond gender, moving beyond patriarchy, moving beyond ministry and leadership defined by masculinity. She was ordained in the early days, and she did it before the truth could be heard by all. But not only was she the first African-American woman to be ordained a priest in the Episcopal Church, her writings and her work anticipated and saw in the implicit dream of America, not in its America's hypocrisy, but in the implicit dream that as Jefferson said, the God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. She saw that and argued that that applied not just to white males, that applied not just to males, that applied to children in segregated school settings in the mid-1950s, that applied to women, that applied to LGBTQ plus folk, that applied to anybody and everybody who the world looks down on and puts down. That truth demands equity. Truth demands justice. Truth demands liberty, not for some, but for all. Pauli Murray was a social critic, a legal scholar. Pauli Murray was a poet, a priest, a prophet who spoke truth as she was able to hear it. And in speaking truth, whether the people hear or refuse to hear, alas, in the portrait that is unveiled today, in the tributes that we pay to her, in the legacy that we continue to live and witness to in our time, alas, we know there has been a prophet in our midst whose name was Pauli. God love you. God bless you. And thank you for this sacred work that you do.